Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
M Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store. Family owned and operated, located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road. Go bold this summer and fall with endless possibilities. Stop in now for the best selection on sweaters, outerwear, suits, sport coats, dress pants, and dress shirts. M Suits Clothiers, your menswear store.
Hi, this is Tom Osborne. Join me on September 23rd and dine at your favorite local Renza in support of Teammates Mentoring. 10% of Renza sales on September 23rd will benefit your local Teammates Mentoring chapter. Teammates Mentoring helps students reach their full potential by providing a caring adult mentor to meet with them once a week in school. Thank you for your support of Teammates Mentoring. We will see you at Runza on September 23rd.
Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at UCLA in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at huskerfantravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a hotel in scenic Santa Monica, an exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on your game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA is not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at UCLA. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at huskerfantravel.com.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the 2nd season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Oh, welcome to it on a terrific Tuesday here in the capital city. Austin Norman, Jay Foreman coming at you for Old School 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. As always, show brought to you by who, Jay Foreman?
The Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Andermatt / Old Cheney, and 168th and Maple up there in the O.
In the win column, Minnesota Vikings. In the loss column, the Chicago Bears. Plenty to get to from last night's Monday Night Football game. Early impressions of what went on in Minnesota with J.J. McCarthy, early impressions of Ben Johnson and Chicago. 27-24, Minnesota ends up winning the game. Plenty to get to as well from Dana Holgerson and John Butler, their weekly gathering with the local media, and interesting moves being made or not made in this week's top 25 of the AP poll. 402.
Oh, it's interesting.
464
It's
5685.
interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
As
I'm gonna give you a free clip. I'm just gonna tell you about college football. It's not real. It's not real. You think I'm joking? Look at you. Your Obi-Wan Kenobi is not working on me ever again.
like wrestling kayfabe not real?
It is not real. You want to get started? You want to do it right now?
We doing like the American Airlines lady? That is not real. Is that what we're talking about?
You could do it. It's not real. Let's do this right now.
Okay, we're doing this right now.
Okay, you want? Did
Here's
you
the free
did you want to
clip.
do it later? You
We'll
want to
do
do
it
it at
now.
4 o'clock? No,
We'll
no.
do it now. It's
No,
fine.
we'll do
We're on the
Vikings.
topic. Let's do it.
Let's tease it.
Okay.
People got to keep it listening.
4
4 o'clock
p.m.
hour. I'm gonna let you know how college football is not real. It is not. It is factual. It's not real. It is.
I can't believe what I'm
factual.
getting myself
and
into
I
on
want
today's
Nebraska
show.
fans to listen, and I'm going to explain to you why it's not real
At 4 o'clock.
at 4 o'clock. And I'm going to explain to you why Nebraska fans need to be in uproar. See, I don't need to do any social media posts or anything like that. I don't need to, get engaged in it. I'm just going to let you know, Nebraska fans, if you want to hear, listen, Nebraska fans, you need to cause all holy hell. Nebraska fans, Georgia Tech fans, unite. You remember when
Make your waves.
Remember when they had COVID? Like Nebraska joined up with Ohio State, and then
Mhm.
Michigan was mad.
Mhm.
Desmond Howard was mad. So now we got Nebraska fans and the smart guys down there in Georgia.
The engineers. The bees.
So then they can run the
Band
numbers.
together.
They can get the bots going.
Mhm.
Nebraska fans just use their emotions. I'm going to explain to you just one example this weekend why it's not real and how it has lasting effects and who's really pushing the buttons behind the scenes. Oh, look at this. 310-6785. What are you talking about, Jay? I'm about to tell you. Listen at 4
p.m.
o'clock.
4 p.m. We'll hit it top
He's
of
trying
the
to
hour.
get me to do it right now.
He's trying. He's not Obi-Wan Kenobi, though. The mind trick's not working on you.
Mm-mm.
Jay, how about this? Monday, second time in franchise's history. The Twins and the Vikings win on the road on the same day, regular season or postseason. The other time came back in September of 1985. Starting pitcher for the Twins that day, Bert Blyleven, and the starting quarterback for the Vikings that day, Tommy Kramer.
Oh, yeah.
It's been 40 years
Touchdown Tommy Kramer.
since both the Twins and the Vikings win on the road. It was not easy for the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy went from shook as all get out, bad pick six, gives the Bears a 2-possession lead, to Joe Cool, ice in his veins, 3 fourth-quarter touchdowns. Vikings complete the Week 1 comeback on the road at Soldier Field.
Yeah, you look, he hadn't played. He had a really good preseason last year and then got hurt. So he hadn't played football essentially in a long time, a year and a half. And so you expect him to be, and Monday Night Football. And so he didn't even get the noon game where you can kind of go under the radar. Here's lights, camera, action. He's from Chicago area. A lot of pressure on that dude. And, and so, yeah, sure, you should, late on a out route, super late, was a no-no, and he knew it. And it's probably one of those things that you got to learn. Look, it happened to Peyton Manning. It's happened to millions of times. But I think right now, I think the light switch came on. I think the fourth quarter probably should give him a lot of confidence, along with the rest of his teammates and what he can do. And they didn't have a full arsenal of players. And they ran the ball better than the investment via the Colts in their offense from coming from free agency.
Kelly and Fries
paid off
big time.
So the Vikings fans should be excited. J.J. McCarthy does wear number 9 like touchdown Tommy Kramer.
Hello.
You didn't know that, did you?
I did not know that. Thank you for telling
Bert
me.
Blyleven. And
Yeah,
when the Twins won with the Homer Hankies, they had a I forget what it's called. It's kind of like this soup that they make up in Minnesota. It has cheese on top, but they named it after Bert Blyleven. And he was doing the I don't know if you call it play-by-play or analyst for the Twins for a while.
He was.
Yeah.
That I vaguely remember.
Yeah.
Good pitcher.
Oh yeah.
Really good pitcher.
Yeah, those Twins had the Twins. I mean, the Homer Hankies were for real.
They were. Puckett.
They had my man Dave Winfield.
Dave Winfield.
Kent Herbeck, Dan
Herbie.
Gladden, Chuck
Mhm.
Knobloch before he went nuts.
Chuck
I
Knobloch.
don't know what happened.
There's a name.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then touchdown Tommy Kramer.
Yeah, Chuck Knobloch just got the yips. Is a problem.
Yeah, it was when he went to the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there were some outside issues that led to that. Trust me when I tell you.
Okay. We will take your word on that one. Let's start with the Vikings standpoint of things, Jay. Rookie quarterback, first game experience on the road, division rivals. Not that the Bears have a tremendously ferocious defense, but they're still NFL players on that side of the ball. To throw a pick six and then to rally in the fourth quarter, what does that tell you about, number one, J.J. McCarthy, and number two, Kevin O'Connell?
Well, Kevin O'Connell was, had been in, like I said, in love with J.J. McCarthy from the get-go. So, he's going to get every chance to be successful. But everything that Kevin O'Connell had said indirectly and directly about him was on display. They liked his leadership. They like his moxie. They like his mental toughness. He's a winner, even though it was aided, but Kevin O'Connell, I think his experience as a player has made him a better coach. I mean, obviously he's been on Hard Knocks and getting released, but then also he understands the quarterback position. He did a really good job with Sam Darnold on the kind of like on the move, because originally they were going to start, J.J. McCarthy. And the Chicago Bears, I felt like before we started to see them in the preseason, because very early you started to hear some of the things you saw last night, especially on the offensive end from Ben Johnson's offense, which is very detailed. He's a hard-nosed coach. And the Bears, they kind of were struggling for a while. But defensively, I felt like they have the potential, and they played pretty good and are formidable. And very easily, you could have seen a rookie quarterback go in the tank. You could even reference back to Sam Darnold to when he played the Patriots, when he was with the Jets, seeing ghosts and all that. He was able to fight through it. I think the defense for the Vikings kept him around long enough so he can kind of, woke up a little bit. And I think also from a veteran standpoint, defensively, you're knowing that it might be a little bit tough sledding, so you stayed around. And Brian Flores, I think called a pretty good defensive game. And they were able to hang tight. I don't think they played very well defensively compared to what they did last year against the Bears. But I think the Bears are better offensively. So I think it was a good hard-nosed win. Anytime you can win in the NFL, man, it's a big deal.
It was just interesting to see the juxtaposition and the changing of course. The 180 that J.J. McCarthy did from the first half and even into the third quarter looked a little rattled, looked a little unsure. Other guys weren't stepping up, making plays around him. Run game really didn't get going until the fourth quarter, when it was money time. And then they started hitting on some stuff. Contrast that, Jay, with Caleb Williams. Now in year 2 for Chicago, obviously first-year head coach in Ben Johnson. Caleb completes his first 10 passes and then goes in the tank from there.
Yeah.
What fell apart for the Bears? What did the Vikings do to adjust and make Caleb Williams uncomfortable?
Well, they kept him in the pocket, threw off the timing. But you also have to understand those first 10 completions, and obviously it's not all the 15 plays, but that's the script that you're coming up. So those are plays that you're 100% most confident in, because those are the ones that you're running at most in practice. Then you got to play football. And then also Brian Flores, whether you like him, love him, or hate him. I mean, everybody loves him as a coach, especially now that I think that he's, he said that he's grown since the Dolphins fiasco, and who knows how, true that was, or whatever the dynamics of that situation was. He's a great, defensive coordinator. So he made some adjustments, and the Vikings have the personnel to make in-game adjustments, and you expect it. And that's what they did. They said, okay, let's keep him in the pocket. Let's make him throw from the pocket. Let's make him be disciplined. Caleb Williams' appeal is he's like and the only reason I'm going to say this guy's name is because we were just talking about Tommy Kramer. He's like a Fran Tarkenton on steroids. Fran Tarkenton is a Vikings great quarterback. He'd run
NFL
around.
Great quarterback.
Yeah. In Hall of Fame, run around, then he'd throw pass. That's what Caleb Williams can really do.
Is Caleb Big Kyler?
Yeah. Probably, yeah. And I think I think he is. And so the things that Caleb needs to do and to get better at is just playing the position of quarterback, and that's what you have to do in this kind of Ben Johnson. He'll give you freedom, because I'm sure that he wishes maybe Goff was a little bit more fleet of foot, but you saw the drastic change once they really clamped in on him. The production and the efficiency like literally went off the cliff, and so that's where they were able to kind of get the momentum back or subside the initial inertia of the Bears, and then they were just able to hold tight. And like you said, the running game got going. I think the different type of runner that the Vikings brought in versus Jones really started to punch, and that's obviously Jordan Mason started to really punch holes into the Bears defense, and they just started just churning out and 21 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's unheard of in the NFL.
It's hard to do in college unless you're playing, Podunk State. It doesn't happen in games against teams with pulses.
17-6 going into the fourth quarter. That's game, set, match. I mean, 6 points for an NFL offense going in there. That's like anemic. That's like when I was with the Texans. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all right. They're just gonna just roll this thing out, and we can't get over the 50. The game's over. They just started really articulating, and that big pass up the sideline. That was a really good pass to Jones. And then you hit Justin Jefferson, and then next thing you know, they're back in business.
There was that drive at the end of the third quarter into the fourth quarter where things really unraveled for Chicago. Missed opportunities, sack, they get moved backwards out of field goal range. And then it seemed like it was on for Minnesota. Like, okay, you know what? There's the door cracked open. We're going to do our best to run through it. I'm glad you brought that up about Ben Johnson and Jared Goff, Jay, because I think there's a lot of things that Ben Johnson would have liked Jared Goff to be able to do and be a little better on the run, be a little bit more mobile, a little more creative, absolutely out of structure, off schedule, out of system. But again, it's one game, too early to draw conclusions. I think there's a part of Ben Johnson, and especially the way that, like you said, very detailed, hard-nosed, particular, where he's almost better off with a Jared Goff who is physically limited, who he can scheme around, than a Caleb Williams who might not have a grasp of all the details, who might not have a grasp of all the fundamentals and the footwork, the position. Both guys have their pros and their cons. And Ben Johnson had a lot more time with Jared Goff than he's had with Caleb Williams so far.
Or Caleb Williams type.
Or a Caleb Williams type, exactly. It's going to be, you would think, easier to teach a Caleb Williams type the football knowledge, the IQ, and the fundamentals. That should be easier than teaching Jared Goff how to be faster, how to be more creative, how to take more chances. But clock's ticking. You're an NFL head coach. You don't have forever. And this is a former 1-1 draft pick in Caleb Williams. So, yes, there's plenty of things that Caleb Williams does that Jared Goff couldn't, that Ben Johnson might have liked. But I also think there's a lot of reasons that Ben Johnson and Jared Goff had success together because Goff was consistent in the pocket and because he grasped the details, the fundamentals of the game, and kind of like we talked about with the Colts and Daniel Jones, kept things running on schedule.
Yeah, and it's going to take some time and patience if you're going to want the best of both worlds. One, Johnson being successful and Williams successful, obviously being a Chicago Bear, because you cannot continue to go through the plethora of quarterbacks and ruining quarterbacks' careers like this and think that, you're a storied, franchise and you got a crazy fan base. And so, I think it's got to be, I think now the onus, majority of the onus is on Caleb Williams to catch up on the things that will only allow him to be a great player longer in their career. And I always talk about Cam Newton. Once Cam Newton physically started to break down, he didn't have the fundamentals to play the position that he needed to play. He was an unstoppable force for the first 8, 9, or however many years in his in the league. No doubt about it. Whereas Caleb Williams needs to probably catch up that way, right? And then also, Ben Johnson has to come a little bit towards Caleb. And we talk about Carolina Panthers, right? Was it Cornelius that comes up from Tampa? He gets to Charlotte. He ready to run Bryce Young up out of there.
Like that.
Barely
met the guy.
Right. Like you took the job knowing who the franchise quarterback is. yes, you have an offense that works, but you don't have a St. Brown yet,
Nope.
right? You don't have
Now, Ted McMillan was fun, but that's this year, not last year.
right. What I'm saying for Ben Johnson coming from Detroit, you don't have a St. Brown, right? And you had to develop him. You don't have the two-pronged running attack to the same, right? You don't have the offensive line, and you're not Dan Campbell. You're the head coach now. So you were the coordinator, kind of like, all right, this is what I need to make my meal. Now you got to really facilitate it all, and you don't have Williams as the number, an opposite. And it's going to take time for you to get something like it because whether it's Moore, let me see, what's his name from Washington, Adunze,
Adunze.
Komet, is he your tight end of the future? You really didn't target him, or you targeted him 4 times, but you're really trying to get him because the 131-yard catch was a one-handed catch. So you really were, I almost guarantee Laporta's in the offensive scheme a lot earlier and often than you had Komet last night.
And then Loveland, the guy that you spent your first draft pick on, 2 for 12 compared to 7 catches on 76 for Tyler Warren. And again, not the same offense, not the same situation, but Loveland went higher. That's a guy that you thought they'd like.
And you drafted him for his skill set to create space to make it easier for this quarterback to be in this offense. And then you got a really a diamond, not a diamond in the rough. You just essentially got a first round pick that fell to you in the second round and Luther Burden.
Yeah.
So now so it's going to take some time to find out role definition and identity, but I think there's got to be definitely some more give and take. And it's on Caleb Williams because you got to run this offense, dude. All right, and you can't say this isn't the coach. This dude knows how to call plays, and then you need to catch up fundamentally in its footwork, its knowledge of the game, it's eliminating all the noise that you either create or it's outside of the facility, and you got to really dive into this. This is not playtime. This is not the time when you hear Allen that's back at the Chargers talking about you want everybody to paint your nails because you this is fun time. This is not Cupcake League. This is the maturity. This is where you have to mature. You're not going into Lincoln Riley's office and say, start me or I'm gone. Well, and then it did work out, obviously, right? You're not coming into Ben Johnson's office and doing that. You got to prove yourself and establish yourself. And so it's got to be give or take. And I don't think Ben Johnson's the type of coach like I felt like Cornelius was down there, like I'm the dude. And then eventually Bryce Young went in there and played. Now all of a sudden, we're all hunky dory. I think he wants Caleb Williams to be successful. They just got to build that relationship, and it's early.
And I do think that Ben Johnson, from all accounts, what we heard in Detroit, it's not my way or the highway. This is what we're doing. If you don't fit in my box, you're not my quarterback. I do think that Ben Johnson has enough of that Kevin O'Connell in him, at least looking in from the outside, to meet Caleb Williams where he's at, to try to bring him along while still not changing his standard. Caleb, here are the throws I need you to make. Here's how I need your eyes to move. Here's how I need your feet to move. You can adjust to your quarterback that you have without compromising your standards or changing your principles. And I think Ben Johnson is, the guy to do that. But here's the thing, Jay. Ben Johnson walked into arguably the best coached division in football. Arguably. Is that in the AFC West? I mean, you look at
top
Reed,
to bottom,
Carroll, Harbaugh, and Peyton. That's really tough to beat in the AFC West. But think about what we've seen from the other 3 franchises just over the last 5 years. LaFleur, Campbell, and O'Connell all hired. We know what Kevin O'Connell's done with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Obviously, last year with Sam Darnold, even Daniel Jones toward the end of the year. Look what Dan Campbell did to flip around the culture of that organization with Ben Johnson as one of his lieutenants there, obviously. Then Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
The Malik Willis thing last year. I mean, he's won at a high clip ever since he got to Green Bay. Ben Johnson can be a really good coach and still be fighting for third best coach in his division, which makes every opportunity that he doesn't win magnified that much more by 3 other guys in that division you have already.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, he knows the division, but you also know what you're getting into. It's a black and blue division. It's tough, and everybody's been leveling up, and the Bears have done a decent job of doing it. And so it's just one game, but also when you haven't won a lot and you're trying to teach guys how to win, and you came from a winning organization, and he's probably seen that things a lot different not being in Detroit, where let's face it, Dan Campbell literally had to build that from the ground up, and so he's been through some lean times, so I think his experience of going through that is good. But then also, you have probably a little bit higher expectations with a former number one quarterback. So, it's a tale of two different organizations, two different quarterbacks. I think you can take a lot of good out of both. Early Caleb Williams, learn from the middle part. Late J.J. McCarthy, learn from the beginning, and then piece together that situational football and go from there. So it's tough, man. I mean, it's the Vikings that plane ride home with the Vikings is a lot different than the long drive home from the Bears through traffic in Chicago traffic, based on about 6 minutes of football.
I mean, key 6 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the hard thing, and we'll see how it goes moving forward.
We'll get to this from Cubsker before we take our first break of the show. Jay, have you given your thoughts on Jabril Peppers signing with Pittsburgh?
I think that's it. I mean, I think what's crazy is that when he got released from the Patriots, and he's a veteran, still had guaranteed money. They said it wasn't a skill thing. It's more of, all right, they're gutting the team. They're telling you, we're gutting the team.
Yeah.
And so they respectfully let him go. They're still paying it, and then to go to Pittsburgh. They had an injury in Pittsburgh. I think he fits Pittsburgh. He has position flexibility. I think he's matured, so I think that's a good fit. I mean, I think he'll do well. Initially they were supposedly going to pick up Shiloh Sanders, who's the same type of player. Obviously, Peppers is significantly better at this point in time. A thumper, can help on special teams. So now you got a veteran that can step right in and make some plays.
I remember Jabril Peppers tearing it up in college for Michigan and then getting drafted where he did by the Browns. I mean, 25th overall. That was supposed to be Charles Woodson 2.0. Yeah, he was Travis Hunter before Travis Hunter with what he was able to do both sides of the ball, punt returns. But now that he's been bad, I mean, he's stuck around in the NFL since 2017. That's not nothing. Never really been a star, but to his credit, he still carved out a career despite maybe not living up to the hype that he had coming out of college.
Yeah, I think almost he did. He was kind of like a man without a position, whereas like Travis Hunter had two positions legit.
Sure.
And sometimes that can happen. You can be a jack of all trades, master of none. And I think he probably had the straight ahead speed, maybe a little bit too tight of hips. Then you go to the Cleveland Browns. If you start off with the Patriots still when they have Belichick and Brady and the defensive mindset and development and all that versus him getting there later, I think it maybe his career's different. So he'll do well in Pittsburgh. He still has plenty, fuel in the tank, and he's tough. He's physical. Teammates like him. So I think, he can extend his career as long as he wants.
College football was fake. We'll get to that coming up at the top of the 4 o'clock hour. What's not fake, we heard from Dana Holgerson and John Butler earlier today. What did the coordinators have to say in reaction to Nebraska's 68-0 win over Akron? We'll hear from them after this on Old School.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Make this your best football season yet with help from Limitless Mail. If you're struggling with low energy, muscle loss, brain fog, belly fat, mood swings, it's likely low testosterone, and Limitless Mail can fix that. We've helped over 100,000 men feel stronger, leaner, sharper, and more like themselves again. Don't sit on the sidelines this season. Take control. Book your free consult today at limitlessmail.com. That's limitlessmail.com.
Oh, Kansas.
Here we go. Second half today.
You just don't stop giving, do you?
Green flag, we're underway.
The closest finish in NASCAR Cup Series history. Close to downtown, amazing campgrounds, 3 NASCAR races in one weekend, and it's the playoffs.
You guys can't drive.
Now you're just showing off. But we're not mad. In fact, we're looking forward to it. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 26th through the 28th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs has been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at UCLA in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at huskerfantravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a hotel in scenic Santa Monica, an exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on your game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA is not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at UCLA. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at huskerfantravel.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Advanced Medical Imaging is hosting their 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk on October 11th at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Hear inspiring stories from survivors, enjoy local food truck vendors, a live DJ, and other family-friendly activities as we unite to bring awareness about breast cancer. Check-in begins at 8:30 a.m. with the walk starting at 9. Register your team today for Advanced Medical Imaging's 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk online at amimaging.com. Let's walk for those we've lost, for those still fighting, and for a future without breast cancer.
Looking to upgrade your equipment and keep cash in your pocket? Through August at Landmark Implement, get up to a 24-month waiver on select John Deere tractors and combines, or lock in a 1.9% fixed rate for 36 months, followed by 6.2% interest fixed for up to another 36 months. When planning for this year's harvest, we've got a solution that works for your bottom line. Visit your Landmark Implement today and check us out at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on Old School. Austin Foreman and Jay Foreman with you. Heard from Nebraska coordinators Dana Holgerson and John Butler earlier today. Interesting stuff from both of those guys. They met with the media for, I don't know, probably about 45 minutes between the two of them, maybe half an hour, I would say, actually, give or take. Jay, I assume you're going to want to start on defense, so I'll get the John Butler stuff pulled up first here. So While we wait for it to load, I remember this quote pretty vividly. First question he got was, what does a shutout mean to you? Let's start with you, Jay.
Yeah.
When your defense has pitched a shutout, what did that mean to you?
I mean, it was just, it's a pride thing. And obviously, I think, when you can pitch a shutout and when it's a, annihilation, a blowout like that, I mean, I think that's one, you want the younger guys to go in and perform well to hold the fort down. So I think it's a bigger thing than just, the starters are out there. Because generally when you pitch a shutout, now granted, we played in games where we shut guys out, when we had to, rock and roll all game. But in reference to this game, and they haven't done it. I mean, they haven't. Look, this is going to be hopefully a 10-year first. I mean, obviously, look, hadn't made a bowl game in a long time. Hadn't had a shutout since 2009. No matter who you're playing, it's that, look, when you haven't had a lot of tangible, results in a positive way, you want to make sure that, you complete the mission. And so I think that's a big deal.
That's what a shutout means to Jay Foreman. What does a shutout mean to John Butler? Here's the Nebraska DC.
Nothing, honestly. I didn't know until after the game. What was it, since 2009? Is that right? So that's pretty cool, right? I mean, that's a big. It doesn't mean nothing, but like we're trying to play to a standard, and I think that at times against Cincinnati we played to that standard, and at times we didn't. And against Akron, I think we played to that standard more, but we still have ways to go and ways to develop. And on defense, ultimately, your job is to prevent them from scoring. So 0 points is outstanding. I don't really ever care about yards. Passing yards, rushing yards. I care about explosive yards. Giving up explosive plays leads to winning or losing a game. And obviously giving up points leads to winning or losing a game. So I think it's pretty cool that we had the shutout, but I didn't know until hours after the game. Somebody said it was since 2009. So
Thought that was kind of funny. Nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the job. It's the objective. Thought that was very cut and dry. But then I like what he continued to go on to say, not looking at yards, not looking at, rushing versus passing yards, looking more at explosives. That's what tends to win or lose games more in college. I would push back a little bit and say that from this side of things, yards are somewhat predictive. The more yards that you get, the more likely you are to score points, but they're not everything. I think going bend but don't break and living by that philosophy can be a little bit dangerous because obviously you want to be dominant, right? 3 and out, get off the field, 3 and out, get off the field, 3 and out, get off the field. You're going to give up some yards as a defense, but I think overall, I like John Butler's approach and attitude from that answer there.
Yeah, I mean, that's look, he's coming from the NFL, and that's what, at the end of the day, you want to score more points than the other team. If you win every game, 40 to 39, you're a Super Bowl champ, so that's all that matters. And it's both ways. I mean, it's depending on who you're playing and how the game's going. I mean, when you say like you're playing Ohio State, right? Look, you're not going to shut them out. So, you got to really be excellent when you get them in the third and more than manageable for the defense. We got to make those plays. We got to be excellent in the red zone. And so that's where that you can have all the yards you want. I mean, that's fine. As long as you ain't scoring, you just wasting time. And so that's really when he's thinking about it or what he's saying, that's probably, what he means. And there is a lot of truth to it. I think the days of game 1 through 12, just and Georgia did it where you're just dominating people. And Alabama did it. And that
but they're putting double-digit guys in the NFL. Off
right. And then it was even back when they were doing it, college football was different.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think it's different in the sense you're getting guys and they're not as invested in those type of team like goals. So, you gotta, take it when you can get it.
How did your defenses invest in those goals as a team?
We had no choice. We weren't getting paid. We were broke. We was broke, man. We was out there playing for each other. We didn't have guys making more than coaches. We weren't making anything. Thanks to you. Not just playing.
Breakout star for Nebraska in this game, even throughout fall camp a little bit, Cade Petchak. John Butler was asked about him. Here is his response.
I think he's got great DNA when it comes to being a football player. Like, I don't know if you guys know him at all, but he's got that look in his eye. He's got a little bit. I told the guys the other day, I coached 10 years in the NFL, and all the best defensive linemen I've ever been around had a little bit something off on about them in a good way, meaning that, they were there because they knew that was the toughest and most physical position that you're going to play in, and you're battling every Sunday. And then you look at Cade, and he has that look about him that he's going to play really hard, play very physical, play with a lot of passion. We wanted to play him a little bit more in the Kansas City, in the Cincinnati game, and did not. That's our fault. We should have played him more. But when he played this past weekend, he played to a level that we expect him to play and continue to get better. And I think he's going to help us. I think he'll be a steady member of that front moving forward.
Encouraging to hear for a young guy that certainly flashed against Akron. Opponent is what it is, but he proved he could do it. They're going to hold him to that standard again. I want to go back to kind of the first part, though, Jay. Best defensive lineman, John Butler said he's been around. Seemed like they have a little something off about him. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think every football player defensively, you got a little off.
It's incredible that you seem so well adjusted now.
Catch me on the wrong day, you look for help.
I've worked with you for 3 years and haven't caught you on the wrong day yet. So I'm starting to like my chances.
I definitely have some talks with myself before I enter the building. No, just playing. Yeah, the defensive line for sure. You're just getting banged around all day. I'm just kind of going through the guys that I play with, and I played with some Hall of Famers. So I mean, Bruce Smith had a switch. It was definitely was off. Ted Washington for sure. Marcellus Wiley. I think the guy that maybe is comparable to Cade is I play with a guy named Phil Hansen. And, Phil just he went to North Dakota State, I think. He even went to one of the Dakotas. I know that because we would always fly home together and he would go to Minneapolis and then he would fly somewhere else, obviously to the Dakotas. But, it was Bruce Smith, Ted Washington, and Phil was a starter. But the first guy in every fight was Phil. The guy that would walk linemen back via, having their hand around their neck was Phil. The funny thing about it, he was our player rep. So when it came time to presenting to the team, he has like a golf shirt on and his glasses, and he's like, "All right, this is what you need to, you need to invest in your 401k, and you need to do this and that, and this is, he's like, you need any help, I'll help you." So yeah, you got me from Grant Wisham, Jared Tomich, even like Mike Rucker, the Kelsey brothers, Vanden Bosch, obviously the Peter brothers, even guys like Jeff Ogard, even Jason. Well, yeah, you're definitely a little off. I mean, you can't play defensive line being nice.
We heard that from John Butler and Matt Rule throughout the year as well. Let's switch over to Dana Holgorsen. Was asked and brought up about more of the explosive plays. Here's Nebraska's offensive coordinator.
Headshot played some tackle this weekend, which the biggest challenge for you is.
Just kidding. That was mislabeled. So this is John Butler about positional versatility and not pigeonholing some of the players on his defense.
The biggest challenge for you as a coach is, not me personally, but all of us, is don't pigeonhole players into a role that you think they are. Put them in the best possible position to make plays. So we put Petchak in a different position. He went out there and made plays. And really, when you look at our defense, the end position and the tackle position in a lot of our 3-down fronts are very, very similar. So I think we have to continue to identify the winners, the most competitive, the toughest, the ones that give the most effort, the ones that execute the best, the ones that care about the teammates the most. We're continuing to find them. We're finding some of them in our younger guys, which we have no problem playing younger players as long as they fit and play to that standard. So, Cade, Williams, obviously Cam's been pretty consistent. Gabe Moore did some things for us out there. He's a big human that can help us in the inside of our defense. So
another guy that John Butler would go on to talk about that, not pigeonholing a player, Jay, is Deshaun McCullough. What have you seen from the Indiana and now Oklahoma transfer to Nebraska through a couple games of that jack position?
I mean, I think like you said, I think, they kind of move them all over the place. They play them on the right, they play them on the left. They kind of like move them around if they're in their kind of like, I guess, dime or peso, like where it's like obvious. You haven't seen much. It's only been, 2 weeks, but you've seen even just right off the get-go in Kansas City. I thought he played different positions. He gives you some flexibility because he's legit 6'5", 215, 25 pounds. So he can play like a little bit linebacker. I'm sure he could probably play stack linebacker. I'm sure he can blitz. He obviously made some plays at Oklahoma where he's playing even nickel at times. So it gives you a lot of flexibility of different body types, just like on offense it does if you have somebody, with that type of initial build. And then he talked about some of the younger guys that have like Gabe Moore, right? I think he was fighting an injury for a while. I think that's what Coach Rule said. And once he got healthy, I mean, right at the first play in the game, he got in and got busy. And so you just get, you get, I won't say instant depth, but you get a guy that came from Mississippi State. Obviously, so he had some sort of pedigree to be in your brother-in-law's, league in the SEC, right? So there is something there. And so, the more the merrier. And like I said, if it doesn't matter if you're old, young, new, or just kind of been on, waiting in the wings. If you show that you can play, they're gonna play.
Elijah Moore. Oh no. Gabe Moore. Oh yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
The way we're headed.
Yeah. I mean, look, Matt Rule has showed. I mean, I guess the coaching staff, right? I shouldn't say Matt Rule, but obviously when Tony White was here, they have showed. Listen, if you can play, first of all, if you play hard, which is also lets you know the state of like college football in general. Effort is a skill now. It was not. It was what you just did earlier. Guys that play hard, they're investing in their teammates and themselves and winning and doing the right thing. It's like right. If I'm listening to him, if I'm a high school kid, if I'm just a player listening to Coach Butler, it's easy to play. He just told you.
Do what we expect.
He said, just go out. He said, look, show up, play football, be invested, don't be selfish, and play hard. I mean, if it couldn't even be more simple than that, because usually now you're worried about, star rankings and what's been promised and all that. These dudes are like, hey, look, if you just do like A, B, C, and D, and let's just throw on an E every once in a while, you'll be out there. So if you ain't playing, it's on your fault.
No one to blame but yourself.
And like I said before, when you're trying to win, you can't you see it in the NFL. Coach gets signed. You can't wait to year three to win.
No.
So you got to win. You got to show progress. So if
your coach can't wait till year 3 to win, you shouldn't wait till year 3 to want to play,
right,
or to start acting like you're going to play.
Right. And so you got to be able to work while you wait. You got to be able to have competitive stamina, and that's what he's talking about.
We'll go to break here. One or two cuts from Dana Holgerson to wrap up hour one of Old School. Don't forget, also $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings on the line for you. We'll give you the question here from Dana Holgerson, wrapping up hour one.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa,
that's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Oh, Kansas.
Here we go. Second half today.
You just don't stop giving, do you?
Green flag, we're underway.
The closest finish in NASCAR Cup Series history. close to downtown, amazing campgrounds, 3 NASCAR races in one weekend, and it's the playoffs.
God can't drive.
Now you're just showing off. But we're not mad. In fact, we're looking forward to it. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 26th through the 28th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
It's one of the best decisions we ever made, having Bryant install a new water softener. Now our glasses and dishes are crystal clean. We save by using less detergents and softeners, but our clothes and towels will look better and feel softer. For a quality softener system without the hassle of arm-twisting contracts, I suggest choosing Bryant. Call 467-1111 or visit BryantLincoln.com to schedule a free estimate and soften up with Bryant. At Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, we do whatever it takes.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinny Krekak of State Farm Insurance. Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back, putting a bow on hour 1 of Old School. Austin Norman, Jay Foreman with you. Here's your chance to win $30 to our friends at Buffalo Wings and Rings with 2 local Lincoln locations, 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney. Here is the question. Before J.J. McCarthy last night, who was the most recent NFL starting quarterback to overcome a 10-point or more deficit in the fourth quarter and win in his NFL debut? Very notable name. See if you can get it. Texter number 1 with the right answer. You'll win the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Before J.J. McCarthy, who was the most recent NFL starting quarterback to overcome a 10-point or more deficit in the fourth quarter and win in his NFL debut? 402-464-5685. Anthony, the guess of Cam Newton is a good one, but it is incorrect. J.J. McCarthy made some history alongside Cam Newton as the first player with 3 different touchdowns there in his debut. I think it was the 2 rushing and the 1 passing, or 2 passing and 1 rushing for JJ.
Cam Newton's first game, he went bonkers.
Bananas.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
I think they weren't ever down by 10 points.
No.
Yeah.
Fran Tarkenton, incorrect. Jordan Love, incorrect. Waterboy, you are in. You got the right answer. Steve Young.
Yep.
Steve Young, in his NFL debut, rallies the Niners back for the fourth quarter win. We will end up getting your information. Waterboy, $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings is yours. Jay, do you want to get to this from Dana Holgerson? Very first answer he gave today about the offensive rhythm, the flow of the game against Akron. Really like this answer from Dana Holgerson. We'll hear from the Husker OC right here.
We were in phase from the beginning. Drive 1, we moved it down, scored. Drive 2, we moved it down, fumbled on the one. Unfortunate. Can't ever happen. Drive 3, we moved it down and stalled out on the one, right? So it wasn't getting in rhythm. I mean, those two specific drives were just ugly finish, right? So the rhythm was there. We just didn't finish those drives. The fourth drive was irritating. That's when we stalled. Okay, that's when we stalled. And Jacory had the punt return to the 20. That's like a sudden change. I mean, we should treat that like a sudden change. Go out there with urgency and execute. And then we just went out there and 3 plays in a row we didn't execute. That was irritating. That was the most frustrating thing of the whole night. And so got to do a better job. I thought the rhythm was there. It's just those situations it's unexcusable not to be successful in those situations, sudden change or finishing in the low red zone.
Strong words there from Nebraska's offensive coordinator on a night where pretty much everything went right for Nebraska. He wasn't just perturbed, wasn't just, that's annoying. He was irritated by the 2 drives that Nebraska didn't finish inside the 5-yard line. Jay, talk about that sudden change and what Dana Holgerson's talking about, and as a player, what your attitude and approach need to be.
It's got to be, I mean, you practice it sometimes. You want to make sure that you can really snap into action, and then you want to make sure you don't, stub your toes. And so it's a mentality, like a lot of times on defense, if the offense, has a turnover, it's sudden change. You pretty much throw the water Gatorade down, find your helmet, and get out there and you go and get busy. And then you want to make sure that you have, like, if you're back to, like, if the offense turns the ball over deep in our own red zone, immediately you're thinking, hold them to field goal or turnover. And then offensively, if you get a sudden change, say you get a defense, a short field, punch it in and score, and that's complimentary football.
And you can't be on your heels to do that. How do you come out as the aggressor in that situation, even when, let's take the defensive example in your case, offense just turned it over, you're facing a short field, momentum, Uncle Mo, whatever you want to call it, is with the other team. How important and how do you go about trying to swing that momentum?
Well, you got to know the mentality of the team. They're going to try to score within the first 2 plays. And so really it's going to come down, one, you got to make sure that you get everybody's attention. You got to communicate. You really got to over communicate, right? Because right now you're going in the straight, like, red zone is DEFCON 1. You go, okay, we got to have nowhere red zone. Principles they're going to want to do, and so that's where your film study, comes in, and being able to have good leadership and be able to think on your toes, and then you just got to go out there and execute. And that's when I was blessed enough to play with some really good players, and we played together, so we were able to kind of withstand some of those things. And you also got to look at it, embrace that challenge. The worst thing you could do, either or, offense going out there or defense going out there or whatever it may be, I'll just focus on the defense, is like kind of go out there with a kind of defeated attitude. Like you're mad at the offense. Like the offense isn't trying.
We can give up points here. We're in a tough situation.
Right. Like, like a woe is me type of, Dom Capers used to call it the loser's lean. And you go out there, really, you got to flip your mind and say, okay, this is a chance to go show how great we are defensively, and go out there and make some plays, and then really snatch the momentum back from the other team. And you could change the game, or you could, I mean, look at the Vikings, or look at Buffalo, where the Baltimore really had the, momentum. You cause them to miss a field goal. Then next thing you know, Cyborg gets going on. It's a great locker room after that. Versus now, Buffalo could be in your head. So very easily you can change not only a game but your season, by handling a sudden change the right way.
Very easily you can change your mind and come to the understanding and the realization that college football is fake.
College football is fake, and I told you guys that Greg Sankey in the SEC was not going to allow the Big Ten to move this much farther forward and create separation.
So instead of catching up, they're pulling back.
And I'm going to explain to you why this is WWF. And if Nebraska fans right now, I know that I know that, People Magazine with the engagement, and then the halftime speech is leaked and saw this. So we have momentum now. Okay. So now you're going to take that with what I'm about to tell you now, and then you team up with Georgia Tech and raise all holy hell.
More at 4.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has expanded strength equipment. Save $28 or more when you join today. We're raising the bar with these benches, and our hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all the best-in-class equipment we've always had. There's no better time to get stronger. So join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Find your nearest club and join today. Deal ends September 12th.
See Home Club for details.
It's one of the best decisions we ever made, having Bryant install a new water softener. Now our glasses and dishes are crystal clean. We save by using less detergents and softeners, but our clothes and towels will look better and feel softer. For a quality softener system without the hassle of arm-twisting contracts, I suggest choosing Bryant. Call 467-1111 or visit BryantLincoln.com to schedule a free estimate. And soften up with Bryant. At Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, we do whatever it takes.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
At Schwezo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Build with us. Work safe, go home proud. We're hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back, on and off the job site. If you're ready to be part of a company where your safety and success come first, visit Schwezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com and apply today. Schwezo Construction, 40 years strong and still building the future.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska insider today.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, Old School, the new school way. One more hour before we turn it over to Demo and Ashley one last time. But before we do that, everybody's been waiting just to drop the knowledge. Austin.
I don't need any special technology, no special equipment to receive this
all
message.
you do is just pull up the new top 25.
I just got to believe my lion eyes.
We'll just because it's gonna pull up the top 25. Let's do this right now.
We'll do it right now.
This is just like the new age of being in college, where you can take open book and open computer tests. And I don't know how you're not eligible, but I don't know if people aren't eligible.
You're really trying to not go to school.
Yeah, you're trying to really, mess up. So let's just look at the rankings here, right? In week 3, this is what they are. We'll just focus on our Tennessee Volunteers. Right. Okay. In week 3, by the AP, right? Let's go to AP. They moved up 7 spots. 7 spots from last week. They were 22 last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now let's look at I hate Michigan and I hate the players from Michigan. I respect them all, but there's only one player from Michigan that I like, and he was a high school teammate of mine, Jason Kapsner. All the other guys from Michigan, Benny Joparu too. He's a high school teammate. Actually, both of them.
There we go.
Yeah.
Everyone else suspect at best.
At best. Now let's look at Michigan, right? So they were 15 last week. They go and lose on the road to Oklahoma. By no means a blowout, 11 points. They drop 8 spots.
To a team that was rated as of last week 3 places below them. Not 30.
Yeah.
3.
And Oklahoma beats Michigan, okay, and goes up 5. But let's just focus on Tennessee.
But we can't just flip those two?
Yeah.
From 15 and 18 to 18 and 15?
Right. We really got to drive it. How dare you lose? You're one loss away from going out of the top 25.
You just won a national championship 2 years ago.
Right. But let's focus on Tennessee. Why did Tennessee go up 7 spots? Why do you think? Well, if you had to guess, why?
Style points.
No. Nope.
Josh Heupel effect.
Nope. Because if you think of style points,
because Joey Aguilar made the choice to go to God's conference and Nico left.
If you had style points, okay, Nebraska would be receiving votes. Other teams that received votes: Arizona State, 94 in a bad loss to Mississippi State. BYU, Georgia Tech only got 78. Florida has 70. Let's just even go to Nebraska.
Florida has 70.
Has 70.
Florida
that lost to South Florida. That's a horrible. You should have 0. Nebraska, okay, struggled in week 1, blew out to, Akron. They received 10 votes. 10. Considering that we have potentially a huge game, which you potentially could have big noon kickoff or whatever it is that they're in 2 weeks, or a little bit less than 2 weeks here in Lincoln. You get 10 votes. So when you're looking at what Nebraska's at and Georgia Tech's closer than Nebraska, where you're looking at a huge hill to climb just to be a top 25 team. Right? So if when Nebraska blows out Houston Christian again this week, what are we going to get, 20 votes? But Tennessee beats up on, Willie Lump University. They go up 7 spots. I'll ask you again, why? You want to know why?
Because Greg
Sankey is manipulating the process like Vince McMahon.
Tennessee beats Syracuse by 19 the opening week, and then East Tennessee State, Jalen George University, 72-17.
Yeah.
And that's enough.
And
to
you move up. That's a reason for you to move up 7 spots.
Let's look at this here, though, Jamie. We can focus on Tennessee, but look at the teams around them. Georgia wins, drops 2. Oregon wins, rises 2. Okay, one piece of evidence to the contrary.
That's
Notre Dame up, Illinois up, Florida State up 4. South Carolina wins and drops. Clemson only drops 4, despite Troy. You mentioned the Oklahoma. Iowa State beats a borderline top 25 team, goes up 2. Tennessee 7. Guess who moves up right behind him, Jay? A&M, Ole Miss,
but
Alabama.
Yes, but that's not
also
it.
all
Austin,
moved up.
Austin, you're falling for the banana in the tail.
No, I'm telling you, look at all these other SEC teams that moved up that Michigan arguably could have been still ahead of.
Right. But the banana in the tailpipe is Georgia. They just did it. So, we'll just drop you 2 spots to make it look like.
Oh, and I pointed that out.
Yeah, you did. But they're doing that. That's the when you started to talk. If you said, why did Michigan drop 8 spots or whatever, right? And then everybody else moved up 3. They were like, well, we dropped Georgia too, because Georgia is the crown jewel right now. That's the banana in the tailpipe. Here's how I know it's WWF. Because Tennessee plays Georgia. The SEC needs a top 15 game to cover their back, which is called hedging their bets. If Georgia loses, right, they lost to a top 15 team. They won't drop out of the top 10. Nope. If Tennessee wins, they're up. And then guess who plays Tennessee the next week? Just guess.
Alabama?
Bama.
Of course.
Exactly. Bama plays them next. Bama gets a national embarrassment against Florida State. Okay. And then they beat up on whoever the next week or this last weekend. They move up 2 spots.
Louisiana Monroe.
And then they move up 2 spots. So now you're double hedging your bets. And then they said, you know what? To make it even better, Florida State beats a weak Alabama team or weak-minded Alabama team. And then they beat the tar out of whoever, right? Last week. And we're going to move you up 4 spots. College football is not real. Strength of schedule is not real.
We'll go to this on Alabama too, Jane. You know who they got this week?
Who?
Wisconsin.
Oh,
wait. Here, remember what the narrative's going to be. Wisconsin might be building something under Luke Fickell.
Yeah.
We don't care if it's home. Look how Alabama handled him.
Yeah.
Then Kalen DeBoer's back on track.
Yeah.
We trust him.
And then you're building up a
Top
game
15.
again against Georgia. It's all smokescreen. This shows you right now. This is not me going to bat for Nebraska. Nebraska still needs to do what they need to do, right? I mean, take Nebraska out of it. They are Notre Dame moves up a spot and didn't play.
They didn't what?
They didn't play. They're 0-1. They moved up a spot. Illinois beat the brakes off a upstart Duke team, and they only move up 2. This is manipulated by Vince McMahon of the college football playoffs and Greg Sankey. College football rankings, the strength of schedule is not real. It's not.
And we need to get to a spot in college athletics where that can be true. Because guess what? In the NFL, strength of schedule is also not real. But guess what? There's also no rankings where we have to pretend it's real. We have very clear qualifications for the playoffs in the NFL. We have convoluted, muddied up qualifications for the playoffs in college football. That's why, I'll use an Ellie Apfel word here, we're being gaslit into believing the strength of schedule matters. It's what do I think matters? What do you think matters? We can agree that this matters. Okay, now it matters.
It is gaslight. It is not real. It's not real. It's all fake. It's just create a bunch of drama. This is WW. It is completely false. And this isn't even about Nebraska getting into any votes. But when you look at it, it's like if you do anything associated with the SEC, it's like you get super boosted, like South Florida, going from unranked to top 20. And then if you lose to them, it's a good loss no matter what.
You get more credit and less blame.
Yeah, and then you'll get a promotion just by association because Tennessee.
The Sean McVay effect.
Yeah, Tennessee says, you know what? We beat the brakes off of East Tennessee State or whoever, and we move up 7 spots because every game in the SEC, they're saying
it just means more.
Means more. That's why I think it's false. The grip on college football is they lost their grip on college football, so they're manipulating the process. It's the modern day version of Enron.
Oh gosh,
it is.
I see what you're saying.
It's
not the example I would have gone with, but I love it.
It is. They're manipulating. It is whatever you do in the stock market, they're doing.
It's Martha Stewart insider trading.
It is to 1,000%. 1,000%.
So who is Greg Sankey Snoop Dogg then?
Oh, that's a good one. It's probably Kirby.
Ooh,
playing low key, take a little bit of because Kirby knows this. If and when Georgia beats Tennessee, they're going to be top 5 anyways.
Here's the thing: we know it's not our guy Rich Clark.
No.
We know Rich Clark has integrity.
Yeah,
and he's not falling for any of this stuff.
Right.
Shout out Rich Clark. Fantastic interview at Big Ten Media Days.
Yeah, it's not him. You know you ain't coming over there with that. It's Greg Sankey doing this all behind the scenes. And you know what it is? Even though I don't like Hulk Hogan personally, I like Hulk Hogan persona in WWF. Kirby's Hulk Hogan. He's the one working against everybody else. He said, I'll act like I'm just taking a little on the chin.
I'll be the heel.
I'll be the heel because I know once we beat Tennessee, we're going to be top 4 anyways.
By virtue of having a now top 15 win.
Yep. And guess what?
Circular logic.
And we'll do Bama solid. We'll just keep bringing you along just because you're Bama.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of like that.
You can ride our coattails
that family
now.
member that you keep helping out. You're going to finally get it right.
You were there for me 10 years ago. I guess it's my turn to be there for
it's
you.
It's reciprocal.
Mm-hmm.
It's all fake, man. It's all because when you look at it, if you're looking at style points, why isn't Texas Tech and Utah ranked higher?
Utah especially.
Right.
The way they dominated.
I mean, you got all these different teams, and sure, Clemson has not looked good the last 2 weeks. They go down, they moved 4 spots. I understand that. Has South Carolina been so dominant that they're top 11? I mean, Florida State, sure. Illinois, I would have liked to see up a little bit higher, but the big jump is Tennessee going up 7 spots after beating East Tennessee State because they're playing Georgia. What are you saying? Well, they're ready to go now?
After East Tennessee State?
Yeah, you're ready now? Because how dare that Georgia plays anybody not in the top 15, or right. Alabama plays anybody in the top 15?
I think a big piece of this as well, I mean, aside from the points that you raised, is that there is something to the concept of anchoring. When you get an idea in your mind, it's hard for you to want to deviate from it. Sometimes, despite evidence. You know, has Clemson played like a top 25 team yet this year?
No.
And yet voters are scared to move them down because it's almost like when you look at the AP top 25, it's less of a snapshot of the information we have so far and more of a snapshot of this is what we thought in the offseason and this is where we think it could end up.
We're going to hold you to it until you do. It's almost like you have to go above and beyond and then beyond because also here's where the Georgia Tech thing comes in. So Georgia Tech goes to Colorado. That's an impressive victory. Yes, Shador's gone and all those guys, but going to Colorado on the road and winning an exciting game when it was back and forth, that kind of puts you on the map. Okay, Georgia Tech is for real. You should have been able to springboard Georgia Tech into being in some sort of consideration off of what they did last year, right? And then they turn around and they beat the living heck out of Gardner Webb. So you have style points. You win a legitimate game, and then you have the blowout. Now, sure, but then here's how it affects Clemson. You lose a game at home against LSU. You did not look good, and you definitely didn't look good at the second half. Well, then now you have the next game. You didn't have the get-right game. You barely got through that. So now that Georgia Tech isn't ranked, so even if you beat Georgia Tech in an impressive way, you don't get those
same points.
You don't get
same
the same
credit.
points. So
No.
essentially, you know what it is? They just keeping brothers down, man.
Brutal.
This is it right here. I'm telling you, college football.
These things happen in the
college
South.
football
It's
is not
uncalled
real. It's
for.
not real. It's not. You cannot tell me it's real.
I will tell you and clarify for the audience that Alabama and Tennessee do play in October. They have UAB next week.
And then they play.
Then it's Mississippi State. Then it's a bye week. Then Arkansas. Then it's Alabama.
Okay, well, who does Tennessee play after Georgia?
UAB.
Okay. Well, then that's how they're setting it up then. So they're stacking it. They're stacking.
Win this one.
Yeah.
Then you have a ramp, right? Say Georgia beats Tennessee, lose to Georgia, beat UAB, go on the road, beat Mississippi State. Oh, that's a tough, hard-earned conference win. It's tough in the SEC. I mean, hey, look at these guys. They just beat Arizona State a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Then you host Arkansas after a bye week. Oh, it could have been rusty. Could have been rusty coming off a bye. This early in the season. Win that one somewhat convincingly, and then you're looking at top 15.
Then I would ask you, how good is
Tennessee,
Kansas?
Bama.
How good is Kansas that Missouri goes and is ranked now? How good is Kansas? Now you're trying to tell me that Missouri went over Kansas is worth moving Arizona State out of the top 25?
Missouri was in there at 25 last week, weren't they?
The AP says they weren't ranked.
Okay, never mind that. I know South Florida wasn't ranked last year.
There's three teams that weren't ranked that are in the top 25. And guess where 2 of the 3 are from? The SEC. Auburn, who has looked pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. And they're ranked probably properly. In Missouri, probably so. But then you're just going to just jettison Arizona State. You're not going to make South Florida validate it. Is Boise really for real the way they got beat?
We'll see.
Where's Boise going to be? Where's that going to be that great win for South Florida if Boise ends up being like 45th in the nation?
I mean, even 45th, to your point. Yeah. I was going to say, what if they go 4-8, kind of like that Mark Helfrich team that Nebraska beat?
Then that's right. I mean, South Florida, I like them, but I'm just saying the SEC is getting some serious bias. That's why I say college football and the strength of schedule is not real. It's not. It is manipulated. It is WWF. It is calling in favors because the last 2 years you have a Big Ten national champion. Nobody, and then Nick Saban left.
2 different Big Ten champions, by the way.
And Nick Saban is gone. Just telling you. I mean, what do you think? There you go.
Let's get to this from the text line. 5377. Polls this early in the season are the problem. Shouldn't have polls until after week 4 at the earliest. Patrick says, I don't think they should put any rankings out until after week 4. Would that solve the problem? Would it help at all?
It could, but it still would be manipulated anyways. Because if that's a great point. I would be fine with that, and that's fine. But a lot of it is off, and you need to have it because we're talking about it. But let's say Alabama wins by 30. Nebraska wins by 40. Alabama's still going to get the benefit of the doubt, just on paper. And it's because, and then, a lot of this stuff is based on recruiting, off-season hype, who they have. And rightfully, you should project. And I have no problem with preseason rankings, preseason All-Americans and all that stuff because that's just part of college football. It actually is fine with it. But I find it hard to believe that the University of Tennessee moves up 7 that looks so impressive that you're moving up 7 spots after beating East Tennessee State, and is primarily based on because who you play next week. Nobody else can do that. Nobody else can, and that's where, and like you said, the anchoring part, it's in your mind. They've essentially, whether you use Ellie's thing where you've gaslit or you've just manipulated our thought process, is everybody thinks that everything is bigger and better in the SEC. top to bottom.
Yeah, 0167 voters literally do not watch or even care to look up the results of the games. Now it's hard, right, to be able to watch that many number of games because you don't want to just rely on box score watching. You don't want to just rely on anecdotal evidence. Being a top 25 voter should be something that's taken seriously. I'm not saying they don't. I'm saying it's hard to do at the level that I think we would want them to in terms of the amount of data that they're able to gather. And then here's this from Scaper. Does it really matter when in college football, one of the top 6 teams is probably going to win it anyways?
Yes and no, because of one of the top 6 teams is put there. And when you're one of the top 6 teams, you kind of have an easier path than if you're one of the bottom 6, right?
Yes, and that's where I think
You can
Scaper's point is more about they're going to be in the playoff anyways, so why does the AP poll matter? Well, because the AP poll, fair or not, does have some influence on the college football playoff rankings. Now, it's not like it's formulaic and feeds into it, but guess what? Committee members are humans too. They're going to see and read the same things. Maybe they have some of the same conceptions of these teams in their mind, so they see the AP poll. Oh, this is what all these people think. You know what? I could go that way too. I can see what they're going for. I'm not willing to be the one to upset the apple cart here about it. So, yes, Gaper, I see what you're saying in that the top 6 teams in the country, I mean, that's probably how many have the requisite talent to win a title. Sure. But even that's changing now in the playoffs. It's not like the 2 or 3 most talented teams in the NFL always end up playing in the Super Bowl.
Right.
The bigger the playoff, the less talent comes into play in some cases. But yes, it affects it, but it doesn't, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, I would just ask this. Between Tennessee, Texas A&M, and Ole Miss versus Iowa State and let's just say Illinois, which one of those SEC teams has earned the benefit of the doubt over the last 2 that I just mentioned? There's not any recent big games. Yes, Tennessee got into the college football playoff last year, but it was just essentially you just had the good enough schedule and you kept your head above water. Texas A&M was a huge letdown. Ole Miss missed a huge opportunity. And Tennessee has been kind of teeter-tottering up and down to where they're at, and they did put together a good year last year. Versus Iowa State's been very consistent, and so is Illinois, especially under Brett Bielema. Mm-hmm. So, now granted, Illinois needs to do some things, and same with Iowa State. All I'm saying is that the benefit of the doubt is starting to really ring true. I think if I'm counting right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of the top 25, the Big Ten has 6 teams. And Michigan's hanging on by a thread. And whether you like Indiana or love them or think they kind of did the schedule, pimping, as I like to call it, they beat a more than game Old Dominion team. Old Dominion, James Madison, and it used to be North Dakota State. They will give any FBS team a run for their money, year in and year out. Mm-hmm. So they beat Old Dominion. They beat the brakes off of Kennesaw State. Now they got Indiana State, and then they obviously have a big game against Illinois. But coming off a huge year last year, they're no different than Tennessee. Probably Tennessee's obviously a little bit farther ahead, obviously. But have they not earned the benefit of the doubt? They're ranked down there at 22. They got the cachet with the coach. They went in and got the guys out of the portal. They're bringing back more than capable players with Fisher and all those guys on defense, and obviously with a really, really good plethora of running backs still.
Surratt, top transfer quarterback in Mendoza.
A lot of linemen coming back. So all I'm saying is just it's like essentially the SEC is the WWF, and this is in wrestling terms. The Big Ten is the NWA, and then everybody else is like the off-brand ones and the, ECW and all that stuff. You got a couple good guys that we might want to pluck from you, like one.
Mm-hmm. But we can pluck them from you because we're the big bad.
But we're not going to let your product get out there.
Right.
So, I always say it's just not real. So, anyways, what is real, though, is the potential of the one transfer rule. The head man in charge at Ohio State is not happy. Ryan Day said it wouldn't make sense. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and decide whether Ryan Day is making sense or not. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Old School. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Oh, Kansas.
Here we go. Second half today.
You just don't stop giving, do you?
Green flag, we're underway.
The closest finish in NASCAR Cup Series history.
What a finish, boys.
Close to downtown, amazing campgrounds. 3 NASCAR races in one weekend, and it's the playoffs.
God can't drive.
Now you're just showing off. But we're not mad. In fact, we're looking forward to it. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 26th through the 28th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flat work, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevenson Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevenson Smith Construction slams expectations.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back, Jake Foreman, Austin Orman, second segment. Austin, do we want to talk about Ryan Day complaining? We could save him a short segment. Or do you want to get Dana audio?
Ooh, we can do a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's see what Coach Dana is talking about.
How about QB2?
Hey, do you know I almost ran him over downtown?
Jay.
He don't even know.
Jay.
I don't
Statute of limitations might not be over on this one.
But well, first of all, he was walking through. It was not his time to walk. I had the green light. My man did not break stride. He's like, "Oh, traffic's coming. I'm going." I think he had his kids or something with him. I never said anything to him, but he almost was. He was almost not coaching. I'm like, oh, that dude looks familiar.
Can you imagine Dana Holgerson doing the Mark Whipple, coaching on crutches?
How'd you get hit? Oh man, this forward dude, he's forward player.
Let's just say we're done with the 90s here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're over.
No reunions or nothing. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Maybe they can have their 50, but that 30.
It would be like via like FaceTime. Hey guys, how you doing?
Who was it that smoked Mark Whipple on the sideline up at Rutgers?
I don't know. I think it was a plethora of guys.
I remember one vividly where he's standing there and he's coming right at him and it's taken out.
Hey man, that sideline, especially. Well, I got clipped down in Oklahoma.
Wait, like 2 years ago?
Yeah, when Nick Sainer was down there spying on me.
So how did Nick get out of the way and you didn't?
Well, he wasn't. It was during the game.
And
I was not in the front row because I know better. Like
you've been on NFL
I know
sideline.
I cannot move. I know my statutes. I know my limitations very well. So Oklahoma, like literally, they are on top of you, like at the visitor side. And so they had they had these speakers where they must have been, crowd noise or whatever. So I was back. It was hot that day, so I was back there getting me some water, chilling. And I knew once they started coming closer towards like where I was, I get farther back. So I'm on the side there and not outside the coach's box. So we're not supposed to be doing anything. They blew this Nebraska player running on the side, blew this cat up, and then he's sliding, and I was like pinned in. There was like the Gatorade and the fans. Because I was back there trying to get the mist. And it was like a wall, and then the bench, and then here they came. And then
right to Jay Foreman.
Oh my God. Hey, Austin. 15 things go through your mind. About 20 things go through your mind. All right, do I go right or left? I can't go anywhere. All right, what can I do? Then I'm thinking like, all right, I can get one of these Gatorade things in a way to break it's like I can't. What if somebody gets hurt? That's the last thing I want, right? Then all of a sudden, here comes about 800 pounds of like college athletes. And I was like, all right, I'm going to try to time my jump. So I was timing it. Well, they hit something else, they got off court, hit something else. I got up there and then I didn't have any hang time.
Oh, no. Yeah, that piece of paper vertical.
No, I got up pretty good because I did like kind of a drop step. I got up pretty good, but gravity said, come back here. Real quick, like come here, like right now.
I got you.
What are you doing? Come back here. And then I hit like one of the things, the boxes or something. And the only thing I worry about is like, I hope nobody saw that. Hey, your boy popped up real quick. I was hurting though. I got up real quick.
That's the important part.
Yeah, I got up
just
real quick.
Just because they knock you down.
I got up real quick, and then I always know it go left because then their cameras come over here. You ain't gonna see me in there. You ain't gonna have me on Instagram.
Didn't hurt anything? Didn't tear anything? Didn't pop anything? No extra Tylenol or
No,
icy hot?
I was hot. I was sore for a little while, but I ain't tell nobody. Yeah, I
Gotta shake that one off.
Hey, I got blasted. Because it's like, oh, here it comes. It is like it's either
What can you do?
Yeah, yeah.
Just picturing you just like in the ocean in Mexico, and all of a sudden here comes a big wave.
That was it. And brother don't. Yeah,
okay. Hold our breath.
And
Here we go.
brother don't swim well either. So
how far down the current's taking me?
Yeah, exactly. So as long as I live to fight another day. But let's listen to Coach Dana.
Here he is on TJ Lateef. What he saw from him in his Nebraska debut.
Yeah, he was highly recruited now. I mean, that's, I knew who he was just from, you know who everybody is when you're recruiting at this level. So, I didn't recruit him. But I knew who he was, and, trust Glenn Thomas a lot for his assessment on recruiting quarterbacks. I think he does an excellent job of coaching the quarterbacks. I think he does an excellent job of recruiting the quarterbacks. It looks like our room's in pretty good shape, and we know it's committed as well. So, TJ's is I'm just so thankful he was here in January. All right. So, the 4 different installs of the 4 different periods of the year was very good for him. He sits there, and I'm in the quarterback room a lot, and I see what he's doing. He's taking a lot of notes, asking a lot of questions. He has the right responses. For a young kid, he's on track to being a really good player.
That's great, but that's not even the real reason why he's good. That's not even the real reason why TJ Lateef is gonna be a good player. That's not even it. It's because in his scouting report, he was a 4-star recruit.
Mm-hmm.
They said he could run, right? But they did not mention the dead leg that he has in his arsenal.
Doesn't even matter if you put that in the scouting report. But that's hard to stop.
It is, but he hit him with the double dead leg. That's how I know he's serious. He hit him with the double dead leg. He hit him with he slowed down a little bit, sized him up, hit him with essentially the basketball version of the in and out Allen Iverson setting you up, crossed him up like it looked like Michael Jordan, crossed him up, crossed him back. I'm out.
Sorry, Byron Russell.
Double
night.
Dead leg. The dead leg is undefeated. All these, when you see people going to like all these wide receiver gurus and all that, you're wasting time. Running backs and all going through there. And like, remember when Ezekiel Elliott be going around track? He just wasting time. It's just dead leg or bust.
Dead leg.
Yeah. No, but in all seriousness, it's good to have depth and good recruits in your quarterback room. And obviously Dylan's head and shoulders of starters, and that's not going to change. But TJ Lateef isn't backing down. He's a competitor.
On TJ Lateef as well, I wrote this down in my notes. I need to double check, but I remember having this thought on TJ Lateef's touchdown, and Dana Holgerson brought it up, which is why I'm gonna bring it up here. He did the rookie young player mistake, and Dana Holgerson brought it up more about ball security. Now TJ was the one that didn't do the 5 points as he crossed the goal line or whatever. That reminded me of, Jay? Anthony Richardson, 2023 against Houston.
Yeah.
He starts slowing up at the goal line. He scores.
Yeah.
He gets rocked, ended up with the concussion.
Yeah.
I mean, TJ got popped crossing the goal line there.
Yeah.
He scored, held on to the ball. That's all fine. But I did have flashbacks to Anthony Richardson in Houston in 2023.
Yeah, it could stymie your progress. It was getting a little too good to him out there. He just all he needs is one hit. You go and start bracing yourself real quick.
But right after that, Tyler Connect says, "Nope, you're not doing that to my quarterback."
Yeah,
got right up in that guy's face.
I like it. The lineman got the quarterback's back and all that stuff. And but more important than that play right there, boy, that dead leg, that just got me hyped right there.
Saucy, spicy.
The best part,
smooth,
he just did.
He's like butter.
The best part, he just sized them up. Oh, you want to come out here and get some of this?
Okay. Here you go.
I could be in a quarterback room. Dylan throw for 500 yards. I'm just replaying this millisecond by millisecond. That's all we're doing in meetings right now. But yeah, that's why I've been here and they are over there.
Dana Holgerson on young guys making plays against Akron.
The ones that stood out to me were TJ, and then Quinn made that play. I've seen him make that play in practice. Okay. And so, now it's transferring over there onto the game field. He's going to keep having more role. He'll play more and more every week. That was a spectacular play, and it was a catch and run. Last week I was complaining about the inability to be able to catch and run, right? And so I felt like that improved, and that got me fired up. I mean, that was one of my, that's pretty awesome play moment, and it was awesome for him to recognize his father crossing the goal line. And again, it was 5 points of pressure, and then he put the ball down about 7 yards in the end zone, and then in the back of the end zone he acknowledged his father. That was a super cool moment for him, but it was a super cool moment for me to see the hard work that he's been doing in practice happen out there on the field. Carter Nelson took a step in the right direction. Isaiah Mosey took a step in the right direction. So there's young guys that took it. Keelan Smith made a play. So there's guys that had opportunities to go out there and do some good things, and they took advantage of their opportunities.
I mean, that's what you want. That's what you want in those games. I talked about, when we used to play teams like that, you want the younger guys to go in there and be successful. I think you have to continue to be aggressive when you get in games like this with guys that are, your second and third team guys, potentially if they're, true freshmen or redshirt freshmen because of the transfer portal, but more importantly, the 4-game redshirt rule. You got to really, it's essentially a 4-game look-see and development and all that stuff. And you could space out the games as needed. And so you can't really sit on the ball. And the guys that he mentioned are the guys that you've seen and heard about from the spring. Smith, Quinn Clark, Carter Nelson. He had a big block, and it wasn't a blindside block. He faced the dude up and was pretty explosive. And so now, I always say this, my roommate Mike Rucker, they have a play that they still play on the highlights in the stadium. At least I know they did it up to last year. And he ended up playing in the NFL. We both played 9 years, and he was a backup player, rotational player. But the way he earned more playing time was a big block on special teams. And what I'm saying is whether it's Carter Nelson catching the offensive coordinator's eye, they're saying that he made a step. I mean, maybe he played the same way as he did against Cincinnati, but maybe that big block and some other things, or maybe the block got his attention. Mm-hmm. Or like what you talked about with Quinn Clark, he's seen him making in practice and kind of maybe like, okay, can he do it in the game? I think he played a couple plays against Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. Let's see if he can do it in live action. He does it. Keelan Smith too. So those are guys that, are taking advantage of the opportunity, but you need to do it in order to get talked about.
You bring up that 4-game redshirt rule. Of course, some of those guys that were mentioned have already used their redshirt, but with the understanding that each individual player's circumstance is different. Jay, if you're coaching, what would be the ideal way in your mind for a player to use their 4 games? Is it get in blowouts early in the season, sit, watch, develop through conference play? Is it, hey, you're in at the end of one of our non-conference blowouts, you get a couple spot reps here and there during Big Ten play because we've seen you come on, and then you're playing, 30% of the time by the end of the year?
Yeah.
What do you think is the ideal perfect world vacuum way to progress through the 4 games as a redshirt?
Yeah, ideally you'd like to go, 2 in the non-conference, obviously these next 2 weeks, then maybe 1 a few weeks later, and then 1 at the end. And obviously, depending on how the season is going, both as a team, more importantly, how you are progressing individually through practice and training and all that, and then also how the group or the group that you're, whether you're offensive lineman, linebacker, or whatever, how that's going. I mean, all of it comes into it, but I think also even if the guy that's coming off a redshirt year, you can really try to play him extensively in there. I mean, it's roster management, it's emotional management, it's taking the temperature of your team, and that's why I think you got to continue to be aggressive, because if you're a receiver and you're still trying to develop and say, like, back when we played, you'd always kind of sit on the ball. Well, now you can be situationally aggressive because I want to see what he can do against a team that, Akron still played hard, right? Against maybe like opponents. Can you be productive? Can you, run the checks and do all the stuff you need to do? And then it's part of your development as well, because those are actively teaching tapes that you can say, okay, look, against, cover 3 and you're running a slant, you got to run it this way. Based on the coverage and the situation, this is the, check with me offense, or, you could be talking to, outside on the perimeter blocking and talk about technique or what that. You just need to be extra aggressive.
I think it's been encouraging to not see a lot of drop off from the ones to the twos. I mean, you can tell when Dane Keene, Isaiah Hunter, and Ja'Cory Barney Jr. are out there, right? Like, who those guys are. Sure, they move a little bit different. But in years past, Jay, I don't know about you, but for me, sometimes it's been kind of hold your breath when the second waves get in, especially wide receiver sometimes. Are they going to be in the right spot? Are they going to make the right play? Even if they're athletically talented, I think in some cases they should have been on the field more. I feel like with this wave of receivers that we've heard about for a couple years now, it's starting to pay dividends for Nebraska, where you still have Key to make a couple big plays, right? Big time throw from Dylan, far right hash, essentially back left across the field. And then the last touchdown they ended up throwing on the rollout. Isaiah Hunter has paid dividends. Ja'Cory Barney Jr., Nebraska's leading receiver last game. But if those guys are out of the game, Quinn Clark, Keelan Smith, Cortez Mills has a catch as well. You feel like Nebraska has options and has depth, then guys are going to be where they need to be, especially the skill position so far.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody's got to go on and handle their business. I mean, very rarely do you get to walk in from high school and, start off 4 years. Sometimes you got to work while you wait, and sometimes you got to be, potentially patient, because of maybe some holes and the lack of experience on your part. And then when you get a chance, you just got to make the most of it. So, they've been, potentially recruiting well. They've been getting different body types and all that type of stuff. So, it's just a byproduct of, getting a better roster. Every year they've been trying to add to it and maybe changing how they're, looking at what they need to add. And then these guys got to take advantage of the opportunity. And that's how you end up 68-0. And, your backup quarterback has a good rating, and everybody else coming in there, like Quentin Ives came in. He's, had, average almost 9 yards a carry. So that's probably what gets you excited more than anything was the consistency, because the only way that you're going to be able to be really, really competitive down the stretch is have, good on good and no drop off from the stars of the scout team. So anyways, we're going to take a quick break, come back. We'll talk about what Ryan Day thinks about the one transfer rule. They said it doesn't make sense. I think it doesn't make sense for him. He shops at a different store than the majority of people. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
No cravings, no hunger pains, no struggle. Thanks to GLP-1s from Limitless Mail, weight loss is possible. Picture this. Your clothes fit better, your energy's up, your doctor's impressed, and your friends start noticing. Limitless Mail's GLP-1 program is medically monitored and changing men's lives. There's no better time than now to get on board. Lose the weight, better your health, gain your confidence without being hungry. Free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's specials through September 9th are 15% off produce, $1 off all drinks, and 8-ounce grass-fed, grass-finished flat iron steaks for $12.99 each. Plus, stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
You've been accused of a crime and don't know where to turn. At Liberty Law Group, we understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you're up against the legal system, you need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Liberty Law's experienced trial attorneys are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Don't let a criminal charge ruin your life. Call Liberty Law Group at 877-42-LIBERTY. Advocates you need, trial attorneys you can trust. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Oh, Kansas.
Here we go. Second half today.
You just don't stop giving, do you?
Green flag, we're underway.
The closest finish in NASCAR Cup Series history. Close to downtown, amazing campgrounds, 3 NASCAR races in one weekend, and it's the playoffs.
You guys can't drive.
Now you're just showing off. But we're not mad. In fact, we're looking forward to it. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 26th through the 28th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, quick segment. Austin Orman, Jay Foreman, before we turn it over to Teammates Tuesday. One last time, but some news out of Ohio State, Columbus. They asked Ryan Day about the potential one transfer rule or one time of the year. He said it doesn't make sense. So I think they're trying to move it to what, January?
Yes, it would be, yeah.
For football, it'd be January.
Mm-hmm.
In his case, he'd be well into the college football playoffs, right? So
yeah, it's looking like it would be, like that semifinals kind of weekend.
And so that would take, he would face what Penn State faced. He would lose probably a few players. He would potentially get guys maybe to opt out. So then therefore you get towards the end goal. And, his job is to win national championships. His job isn't to set you up to go to other schools, especially when he's recruited you and invested in you to be at Ohio State. And what teams are going to try to do is essentially pluck players off your roster to weaken your stronghold on college football and strengthen theirs. And so I don't think everybody, you won't have 100% people happy with if they go to it, but something needs to happen. I'm going to tell you what you need to do. Here's the fix. And this is knowledge today. If you want to really get college football back into shape, easy fix. If you take NIL money, you got to stay at least for 3 years. Period. Period. You get a big percentage of cost share, revenue sharing money outside of scholarship, you're staying.
But one that just goes back to the same system of these younger guys get paid under the table, signing bonuses, whatever.
Sure, but then the transfer
anyways.
portal, which is ruined college football, wouldn't do it. You wouldn't be able to, because if in the NFL, okay, essentially, if I have a down year, then I'm just going to stay on my contract. if I have a good year, even though I'm under contract, I can go shop myself to the Dolphins or the Vikings or something while I'm under contract. And then if I get a better contract from them, bye, and you're left. That's a good way to fix it.
Sure.
There you go.
I see what you're going for. I like it.
There you go.
Yeah.
College football is fake, and I just figured out the transfer portal rule. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, old school. We'll holler at you tomorrow.
You've been accused of a crime and don't know where to turn. At Liberty Law Group, we understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you're up against the legal system, you need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Liberty Law's experienced trial attorneys are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Don't let a criminal charge ruin your life. Call Liberty Law Group at 877-42-LIBERTY.